This tiny island, lost out here in the middle of Lake Michigan, is home to a tiny community. The thing is, once the ferry stops running, the only way in or out is to ride along with the mail. And today, I'm hitching a ride. Welcome to Charlevoix Airport here in northern Michigan. We are so close here, just a few miles away to the land of mooses and milk bags, Canada itself. But for now, we're still here in the land of the free. And today, I'm heading across to an island out in the middle of Lake Michigan. But it's an island without any regular passenger flights. To get there, you've got to hitch a ride with the mail. And that's why we're here at 6 o'clock in the morning to do that. Let's go across and get checked in, I guess, for our flight to Beaver Island. Good morning, how are you? Yeah, I'm looking for Island Airways. Is this the right place? Thank you.
Ready to check in and
amazing, thank you. Thank you.
Second, I don't even have my drawer out here yet.
It's okay, don't worry, I'm sorry. I wasn't sure what time to get here. I thought if I just sort of aim for roughly half an hour to an hour.
It's alright. Can I get the weight of your backpack?
Oh, sure, yeah.
And you need a round trip ticket?
Yes, please. I was hoping to. I think I'm booked on the lunchtime by the 1 o'clock, but I was hoping to come back at 11 or
yeah,
something.
I moved you to the 11.
That's awesome, thank you.
You're there. 152, please.
There we go, thank you. Thank you.
Did you park in the diagonals right out
Yeah,
here?
is that okay?
Yeah.
Oh,
where it says no overnight.
No, yeah, those
That's
ones.
where you.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, you're good.
Alright then, so all checked in for my flight across to Beaver Island. It's a tiny island out in the middle of Lake Michigan, and Island Airways fly there several times a day on their little Britain Norman Islanders. Really cool planes. You guys know it's one of my favourite planes to fly on, and today we'll be hopping across there to the middle of Lake Michigan, hitching a ride with the post, and then coming back a little bit later on today, but we're going to go and check it out and see what's over there. Got my morning wake me up. That's what I need at this time of the day. Caffeine just doesn't cut it at this point. So with the plane fully fueled and loaded, and more importantly me semi-fueled, it was time to climb on board Island Airways Islander aircraft for the short hop across Lake Michigan. This plane has a pretty interesting history. It was delivered to a Mexican operator in the early 80s and at some point ended up in Venezuela doing things. It came back to the US a few months ago where Island Airways picked her up. Unusually for an Islander, it's got a 3-bladed prop, which sounds very different to a regular Islander. With the props howling away at the side of me, we climbed out of Charlevoix for the flight across to Beaver Island. The flight takes about 20 minutes, cruising across the lake at about 1,500 feet. Once you coast out of Michigan, there isn't a great deal to see for a lot of the flight, but the morning sunrise is always a spectacular view, even in the middle of a deserted lake. Beaver Island's about 30 miles off the coast of Michigan, and in the summer it's connected by the mail planes as well as a ferry that makes the voyage to the island in about 2 hours. But once the lake freezes over in the winter, the only way on and off this island is by the mail plane, making it an essential link for the 600 people that call the island home. After a few minutes, the island came into view and it soon became clear that there wasn't a great deal here. The island's covered in forest and home to more deer than people. It's roughly 13 miles long, with most people living in the village of St James on the northern tip of the island. Surprisingly, the island has not one but 2 airports, with Island Airways flying into their own airstrip called Welke Airfield. We started our approach into the tiny airstrip, which was actually pretty fun. The runway is just 30 feet wide and 2,000 feet long, nestled into the forest. It feels a lot like landing on a remote bush strip in the jungle.
One time, and in the middle of winter, literally, everybody's
you. Hi. Thank you. Alrighty then, welcome to Beaver Island in the middle of Lake Michigan, home to 600 people and about 1,800 deer. Yeah, deer outnumber people 3-1 here. Oh dear. And it's bloody cold out here. It's going to get colder because in the next month or so, Lake Michigan will be frozen over. The only way on and off this island will be then by flying. At the moment, they can get boats over, but now they have to fly as soon as it starts freezing over. This is the island's airport, Welk Airport here, which is home of Island Airways. I've got a few hours here. There's not a lot to do, so I'm going to have a little wander and see what we can find. I mean, I'm guessing we're not going to find much here on Beaver Island. maybe some beaver. I don't know. It's always a good day if you can find some beaver. Island Airways send 2 planes at once across to Charlevoix throughout the day, carrying the mail and any passengers that need to quickly get on and off the island. The flight's got the record for being the longest serving US airmail contract in history. The USPS contracted Island Airways to start flying the mail way back in 1945. Since then, for over 80 years, they've ferried mail packages and even more recently Amazon deliveries to and from the island several times a day, every day. Well, there we go. The planes have left, the staff have locked up and gone home, and I'm here on my own now for a couple of hours. The flights run throughout the day, but when they come, of course, they've only got a limited number of staff, so I think they've basically taken the mail and stuff down into town that came over. A load of stuff's gone back out, and yeah, that's it really. Quite a nice little airport this, actually. Tiny little runway here. It reminds me very much of Stewart Island over in New Zealand, and ironically I flew there on Islanders as well. I'll pop a link up to that video there, I think, and you'll be able to check that video out as well, because that's another very similar airport where you kind of have the flights that come in on the Islanders just for one reason, and that's to bring the mail, and then the passengers are kind of an added extra, really. Anyway, let's go see if we can find some deers, or even better, if we can find some beaver here on Beaver Island. I do like this sign I've just seen, just here, low flying aircraft ahead, and someone's written duck underneath it. Almost reminds me of when I was a kid. We used to go on narrowboat holidays in England. The epitome of excitement, isn't it? As a kid going on a boat for a week across Leicestershire. And anyway, once me and my brother were at the front of this boat and going along, and my dad's at the back driving the boat, and he's like, duck. And I was, me being me, I was like, where? I don't see any duck. And then next thing I know, there's a massive tree that comes and knocks me off my feet. It's actually a really beautiful island, though. To say that there's not really a lot here. Lots of trees, deers and beavers, and that's kind of about it. This video is brought to you by Surfshark. Now, as you guys know, there is nothing I enjoy more in the world than surfing. I'd even go so far as to say I'm actually pretty good at it. Well, not this sort of surfing. Obviously, I'm not very good at this. It's far too cold and wet for my liking. I much prefer a different sort of surfing. Surfing the web. I'm really good at that, and I can spend hours at it. You see, thanks to Surfshark, surfing the web is a lot more pleasurable and safer too. Surfshark's a VPN that encrypts all of your data, even when I'm travelling on public airport hotspots and Wi-Fi, on planes, in hotels, you name it. Whenever I'm on public Wi-Fi, my data's safe because I'm encrypted through the Surfshark VPN. You see, a VPN encrypts your data, which means that you're not leaving anything on display for the rest of the world to see. Even when I'm not travelling though, Surfshark comes in handy because I can sit and watch TV as if I'm anywhere else in the world, which is really handy because I live here in the States. Thanks to Surfshark, I can still watch my favourite TV programmes with Susie, like Gogglebox. Super easy to install. You go on the website, you download it and install it, you sign into your account, and then you can choose whichever country you'd like to connect through. Right now, Surfshark are offering you 4 extra months completely free of charge at surfshark.com/Noel Phillips. Meanwhile, back on Beaver Island. Honestly, I've been walking now for about a mile from the airport and I've not seen a single person, a single human being, not a single deer, and certainly not a single beaver. There ain't a lot here, really. I don't know how much further I've got to walk up this road before I might find some sign of civilization. I don't know. But it's like I've been dropped off on a little island in the middle of nowhere and that's it. I mean, there's obviously something here. People came over on the plane this morning to come and do a day's work over here and, well, for me, this is it. There is nothing here. Just trees. I see about heading back to the airport. Wait, I don't know what I expected. I've got 2.5 hours here. I'd originally got 5. I'm starting to think that even 2.5 hours is probably 2.5 hours too much to see everything there is to see on this island. I don't know. Thankfully, by the time I made it back to the airport, the staff had returned from the post office so I could check in for my return flight to Charlevoix. Hey, how are you? I'm on the 11 o'clock flight, so I was just coming a bit early, but nothing else to do, so I thought I'd come and hang around if that's alright.
Yeah. Our plans were made on the Isle of Wight.
Yeah, I've been to the factory where they make them when I lived in the UK. So I've flown on islanders like all up into Scotland and places like that, and they reached out to me and they gave me a tour of their factory over in the Isle of Wight and stuff. So
Wow.
It's pretty cool. Yeah, they did some cool stuff.
I believe we have the largest fleet of them in the United States.
I think
and
so,
North
yeah.
America maybe even.
Yeah, I was over in Idaho literally 2 days ago, and there's an airline there that flies them as well. So
Really?
yeah, up from Boise to Salmon. It's right up in
You
the.
gotta let me know about that.
Yeah, let me show you I'll show you the pictures. The terminal building here is less an airport terminal and more a hub for the entire island. It's stacked full of FedEx packages, Amazon boxes and deliveries for the islanders. When a box reaches the island, it's kept here until the locals arrive to collect it. Likewise, when anything's sent off the island, it's dropped off here to be loaded on the plane to Charlevoix. After a while, the radio crackled into life, and a few minutes later, the first of the 2 islanders swooped in low over the island before landing, bringing a fresh batch of mail, as well as a few passengers back from the mainland. Today was school photo day for the village elementary school, so the star guest today was the school photographer and her equipment. Soon after that, the second islander flew overhead to begin its approach into Beaver Island and take me back to Charlevoix. I was flying back to Charlevoix on exactly the same plane that brought me out that morning. And the plane's just arrived again to take me back across to mainland Michigan. We'll be on the same plane, I think, today for the short flight back across to Charlevoix. Let's go and get on board. I watched the next lot of mail being loaded on for the return flight before the handful of us heading back to Charlevoix were loaded on board the plane. Just like that, we leave Beaver Island behind. Looking down at the rugged coastline, it's hard not to feel a profound sense of isolation. You truly grasp how cut off this small community is, sitting out here in the vast cold waters of Lake Michigan. For the residents, this isn't just a sightseeing trip, it's a necessity. This little Britain Norman Islander buzzing along at 1500 feet is far more than just a plane. It's the daily lifeline, the only reliable thread connecting these 600 people to the rest of the world for mail, for medicine, for groceries and for essential supplies. You see the mailbags piled up next to you and you realise that you're not just a passenger, you're sharing a vital journey. Every envelope, every package, even the school photographer's equipment that came over today is a piece of connection being delivered across the miles. It's a remarkable living piece of aviation history, this 80-year-old airmail contract still running strong. Honestly, it was a unique privilege to hitch a ride on this legendary mail plane. It was a reminder that sometimes the most important flight of the day isn't the biggest jet going the farthest distance, but the smallest plane linking two points that desperately need to stay in touch. It's aviation at its purest, connecting people who otherwise wouldn't be connected, and it's flights like this that make aviation truly special. We landed back at Charlevoix, just another day in the life of these pilots and these planes, but for me, it was a reminder of just why I love aviation so much.
It's too exciting.
I'll just grab my bag, give you a bit more room, or?
Yeah.
Thank you. It's alright, give you a bit more space on there. Thank you, have a good day. Thank you. You're alright, I'll see you later. Well, here we are then. Welcome back to Charlevoix, Michigan. What an amazing little flight that was over to Beaver Island. Thank you very much for watching. As always, I really appreciate it. Take care, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.